All right, panel, for reasons which will become apparent subsequently, you've been asked to blindfold yourselves. Are those blindfolds all in place?
Yes, ma'am.
Then it's time to meet our first challenger. Will you come in and sign in, please? That's all right. You can print it if you want to. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. And now will you join me over here? Are you familiar with the way we keep score?
Yes.
Fine. If you know how we keep score, there's only one thing left to do. That's to let the folks at home and the audience here in the theater know exactly what your line is. All right, panel. It goes without saying that our challenger has about him, we'll tell you that much, an area of identification which would be revealed to you if you were not blindfolded. It can be costuming, it could be in the name of the person, it could be in almost anything. However, you're flying blind, and we'll give you only one little bit of help, our guest's salary. And then let's begin the general questioning with our old smash success, Miss Arlene Francis.
Thank you. Has your name recently been in the newspapers?
Yes.
Is it associated in any way with the sports world?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Sir.
Now, I think I detected different voices there. There's more than one of you, is there not? Yes. Is the relationship that of some kind of a team that does something together? No.
Betty, that's a wonderful question. You'll enjoy it to the full later. That's 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Gilgallen.
Would you say that no one on this panel has had the pleasure of knowing you personally? Any one of you?
Yes.
Do you do something in full view of an audience? Do people watch you do what you do?
Sometimes.
Would you consider yourself part of the world of entertainment or amusement?
No.
Pardon me. 3 down and 7 to go, David Niven.
I feel so lonely in this horrible thing, I can't think. Are you...
Here, David.
Are you... Therefore, nothing... Wait a minute. Are you anything to do with audiences?
Yes.
Are you seen frequently by audiences?
Yes.
Do you always have Sunday evening off?
No.
That makes it 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Francis.
Do you ever appear on television?
Yes.
Are you on television as something other than entertainers? By
Yes.
that I mean...
Yes.
Yes. Do you have anything to do with the analysis of the news?
Yes.
That would, I might say, we would give you a qualified yes to that because you might be misled otherwise.
Oh. Are you associated with a network or 2 networks?
No.
5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Sir.
I have a sneaky feeling that you gentlemen are both running for some public office. Am I correct? No.
6 down and 4 to go, Miss Gilgallen.
Do you work for a profit-making organization?
No.
7
Definitely.
7 down and 3 to go, David Niven.
But do you do this for fun?
No. 8 down and 2 to go, Miss Francis.
Do you have anything to do with the defense program?
No.
9 down and 1 to go, Mr. Sir.
Well, have you anything to do with politics? Yes.
Yes, I'm with you, Ben, and I bet I know, too.
But they're not running for it.
No,
Yes,
they're
exactly.
not, but I could
What-
want to take a weenie?
Sure.
Maybe they are the heads of the Republican and Democratic parties.
That's close enough.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. You can take off. That's close enough. Actually, respective heads of the Republican and Democratic National Committees, Mr. Paul Butler on the far right and Mr. Meade Alcorn sitting next to me.
How do you do?
Now, Bennett, you see how funny your question was. Well, needless to say, this is an election year, and Meade and Paul, it's, I might say, an honor that you are here with us to mark something which is, and I trust always will be, a robust part of our democratic system in this good republic, an election year. Since we've got you both here, and I think everybody at home and the audience and the panel would be interested, we've all heard very recently of the campaign to get everybody in America to give $1 to their respective political parties. What do you think of the idea, Paul?
Well, John, I think it's a great idea. I think it's the most important political development in the 20th century. And for the Democratic Party, I want to express our gratitude to Philip Graham, the publisher of the Washington Post, and to the American Heritage Foundation and the Advertising Council for this great campaign. The Dollars for Democrats drive is going to start next Friday and run through Monday. And we certainly hope that those who would like to give a financial contribution to the Democratic Party will do so if an authorized solicitor comes to their door, but be sure he's authorized, he or she. And then if no one comes to your door for this campaign, you could send your contribution to the Democratic National Committee, Washington, D.C.
Well, now, Meade, do you think everybody should give a contribution to the Democratic Party? Pardon me, party of their choice.
Well, I have my views on that, John. I'd like to say this, that I know of nothing on which I agree with Paul Butler except the value of this program. I think it's a wonderfully worthwhile thing, and both parties are indebted, and indeed the people of America are indebted to the Heritage Foundation and to the Advertising Council and to Phil Graham for this wonderfully important project. I happen to believe that the strength of the Republic depends upon maintaining two strong and effective political parties. And you can't maintain effective political parties unless you finance them. Nobody appropriates any money to us, and I'm sure they don't to the Democrats. So we live on voluntary contributions. The Republican Party is participating in this program by conducting its so-called neighbor-to-neighbor campaign, which started on September 14 and which will conclude on October 14, the date of President Eisenhower's birthday. We hope that when a volunteer calls at your home, you'll contribute not $1, Paul, but more than $1, that you will contribute and in that way participate in strengthening this great American system of ours and helping preserve our cherished freedoms. If a volunteer does not call at your home, you can send your $1 or more than $1 to the Republican National Committee in Washington, D.C., and by doing that, feel that you've had a really important part in this great system of ours.
Well, that was the question I asked, wasn't it? Huh?
Yes, I just was going to say that I think we ought to capture this moment in time because I think it's the last time these two people are going to share the same chair.
John, don't you think we ought to give equal time to Norman Thomas?
Well, I will say that I think that the American Heritage slogan is, don't pass the buck, send $1 to the party of your choice. And it's a great idea, and I hope that it sparks in America. Thanks both very much for coming to see us. Well, I must say the panel